On today's episode of From Impact to Income. What makes a good trader? Is it the education? Is it the community? We speak with our special guest, Ashley, the vegan mom trader. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am here with Ashley Flakes, the vegan trader, hey, and mommy. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be talking with her about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the community aspect of being in a community of like-minded traders. We're also going to talk about the education and skill set, and then we're going to talk about which one is Ashley's favorite. Which part of it keeps her involved with trading, and how how has she done so well so far. And so we're going to get right into it. Ashley, hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear
Okay.
you. And thanks so much for, taking the time to do this interview. I know you got a lot of duties as um, a mom, wife, you know, daughter, all that stuff. So my first question to you would be, um, you got those three main topics: community, skill, education. Which one, you can rate them from number one, two, and three. Which one is like your favorite part about it?
I would have to say the skill in itself, just
Mm,
being
yes.
able to learn the skill in itself, and everything else just follows behind that. Because the skill is what's going to keep you afloat.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. That's one of my favorite things too. I think that's what, when as soon as I found out about it, I was like, what? I don't have to talk to nobody. I can make I can make some money without talking to people.
Yeah, because a lot of network marketing, you need people in order to be successful.
Yeah.
And this was an opportunity when I first heard about it that they didn't you didn't it didn't require any of that. Like if you choose to share the opportunity, then that's solely up to you. But if you
Yeah.
don't, then that's still fine as well.
Absolutely. And so far, how have you been doing learning this skill? Like what have been some things that you found that is like, man, I wish I would have known this when I first started, or things that have actually like helped you to be a really good trader?
I would have to say like discipline and consistency.
Mm-hmm.
When I first got started, everything was based around me just wanting to like start out really, really slow. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's like a fear as someone that's never done it before. It's like, okay, well, I've seen a lot of people that have success, and then I don't really know how much work they've been put into it, that they put into it as far as studying goes. I don't know how successful they've been truly.
Yeah.
Because you have, your live account, your demo account, and in your demo account, everybody's successful. And
Yes.
really, like everybody's successful in their demo account. So it's like, okay, and even that comes with time because starting out as a new trader, someone can show you their demo account, but as a new trader, it's probably being told to you that that's their live account.
Yeah.
So you go in and they're telling you from the jump, start with the smallest lot size. Don't do any standards. Don't do anything, more than like 3% of your account. So when you do that and you go for like 10 pips, that's only $1. And it's just
Yeah.
like, well, wait a minute, I don't want just $1. I got my take profit, hit all three of them. So I don't want $1 because that's only $3. Whereas you got like $30, this person
Right.
got $300. Like I want to know, where I can do that. And then they tell you, well, give yourself 18 months. Well, the person that's my sponsor didn't tell me that that's how long it took. So discipline because you have to stick with it. Like
Yeah.
you literally have to stick with it, and you have to find what works for you if
Absolutely.
you want to be successful with it.
Absolutely. I think that is one of the biggest things. Like when I first got in, I was like, you like, man, y'all, you telling me y'all only want me to make $1 when y'all making 1,000? No,
Yeah,
but definitely having that discipline because you don't want no blown account. That's a sorry feeling.
I mean, to lose, like if you're up $20 and $20 is great, but if you lose $20 in your demo, then it's just like, oh, it's $20. But
Right.
in your live account, if you lose $5, you ready to throw the whole computer in the trash. It hurts.
Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, um, have you experienced like I know a lot of people they'll get in and they'll be like, man, this struggle is too much for me. Have you had that experience where like things were just like a lot and you were like, man, I gotta step back and
Hmm.
maybe start over?
Oh yeah, a lot of times, and
Yeah.
ultimately, like it just depends on like how life is going. When I did it the first time, um, I got away from trading, and I wasn't really focused on trading as much as I should have. So when it came down to it all, I was more focused on like the business part of it and the residual side of the company instead of learning the skill set side of the company, and it can get overwhelming. And I think at the time when I first got started, like after maybe right before I hit my year mark, a new
Mhm.
company came out, and that new company was like a major competition, and they took a lot of our traders,
Mm.
and a lot of it was mainly because of the compensation of getting started. You know, they were like two almost $300 cheaper than I Am Academy, which was IML at the time.
Mhm.
And so because of that, like my whole organization was wiped, and a lot
Mm.
of like our teammates, like their organizations were wiped because those people all literally like went to the other company. And
Yeah.
so because of that, like as far as I went, like that was my whole income.
Mhm.
And then like I wasn't able to like help with my husband be able to do things. So I did have to take a step back because the time that it took me to build my organization, like I stopped trading in the process to be able to do that. So I I have experienced that setback, and now that I'm back, like I'm even now, like I'm in the process of like finding that fine balance
Mm.
between between like sharing the opportunity with people and still trying to learn how to trade in the process when it comes to both forex and binary now, because binary wasn't a thing for me back then. Now
Right.
it is.
So, so with that, I know that would have. I don't even know what that would have done to me psychologically. I would be like, y'all ain't my friends. I thought y'all was my friends.
Well, because it goes so much further than being
Yeah.
friends. Like you build an organization around everyone being family and loyalty and integrity, and then when you have these teammates that you feel like you can rely on when
Yeah.
it comes to the business, and then they go, them leaving is one thing, but then for them to come back door and start going down the line,
Ooh.
people that's within your organization, that's
Hmm.
like you couldn't have found you found a new company, you couldn't find new people, you
Right.
and got the people
Wow.
that you knew for a fact that you could take. And yeah, it was horrible. So
Man. So how did you because that part that's a significant piece that we don't talk about in network marketing.
mhm,
People don't have these discussions about, hey, my whole org was poached. Like they just
mhm.
came and I have to start over. How did you what did you say to yourself to say, I gotta go forward. I gotta get back in the game.
Life. Just life, because I did have the opportunity to say, like, oh, I want to just go ahead and dive back in, knowing that when I left out, I'm a platinum 1,000.
Yeah.
And so that's, for those that don't know, like that's $1,000 every month from the company. And so
Hmm.
when I decided, okay, well, I want to get back involved with it, but because so much time has went by, like they give you, X amount of time to be able to come back and pretty much pick up where you left off at. And the sponsor that I had when I first started, like she does other things,
Yeah.
and I knew that. Now don't get it wrong, because I understand like your success isn't based off of your sponsor or the person that tells you about it, but it's like I can find a lot of and you know what I'm saying, when it came to like my growth and
Yeah.
everything that I was dealing with when it came to trading, like she knew of all of that. So
Yeah.
when I found out that she was having other avenues taking place, like I want to say like she still trades, but it's not like how it was back then. Then it's like, okay, well, maybe I'll be able to, communicate with her. Maybe I won't.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's not a chance that I want to take this time around. So I chose to go with a different sponsor, which meant that I had to pretty much start from ground zero.
Yeah.
So that's been like the token of things now, like just trying to rebuild. And you pretty much have to, it's mental. You have to get your mind right in order to know that, okay, I had all this success before, knowing that there's a leg out there with 100,000, there's a leg with 100,000 people in it right now. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally starting over, and a lot of people don't really like to admit that they have to start over.
Right.
It's a thing to, it's a tough pill to swallow sometimes.
Yeah. Definitely can understand. I don't, that is still, that's still a lot. Like it is a mental war, but the fact that you had that experience now, how do you see yourself going forward? Like not just building out your team, but also trading. What are you doing differently so that you are learning the skill set and then also are building up your team at the same time?
Just remembering where I came from.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like if another company comes out, then I already know the people that's in the organization today, it's not guaranteed that they'll be there tomorrow.
Right.
So the people that I had back then, I literally depended on them, and I trusted them, to always be there. Even the ones that kept falling off because they couldn't keep up with membership, I still depended on them to be able to come back.
Mhm.
And now it's different because I understand that things happen. Life takes place. I mean, it happened to me. So
Right.
it's like I understand that people aren't gonna always be there. And if another opportunity comes that seems to be like a better opportunity, I can't knock someone for wanting to try it. Like
Right.
at the end of the day, you always come back home.
Yeah.
And um who knows, like a lot of the people that was within my organization, they may be back but chose to go somewhere else because maybe they didn't want to come back and be like, hey Ashley, like I know this happened but I want to come back, so they go with a different sponsor, which is completely fine.
Yeah.
But moving forward, I understand differently now because I was new. Network marketing was completely new when
Oh,
i
okay.
when i first got started. I mean, I was with other companies, but taking it seriously like how I was at first, it was nothing like that. Like I was only with one other company where we sold roadside assistance,
Mm.
and it was, like it was a different type of network marketing. So
Right.
now that I do have that experience, it's just like I know what to expect, and I know not to put all my eggs in one basket. As far as depending on people, like as long as I know I'm still going, then I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's pretty much the key for, I think, um a lot of people who have arrived at whatever status that we think is the highest for whatever company. I think they've come to that realization too. I can only control me.
Right,
So what am I going to be doing going forward? Like what you're doing right now. I'm studying for trade, forex and binary, and then I'm building and
right.
just doing both of those simultaneously. Yeah, definitely understand that. Definitely understand that. Now this piece right here. Does it help that you're vegan? Does it keep your mind clear? Because I'm trying to figure.
No. The vegan trader, like I'm not even 100% vegan. So
Okay.
like I'm still slowly going into that direction. It's a
Okay.
process. Um because for me the hardest thing is dairy. So
Yeah.
moving away from dairy is literally like the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I don't. There's a lot of things that I've 100% given up, like pork, and I haven't had pork in so long. And then cow's milk, like that was the easiest transition for me, was to get rid of those two things.
Okay.
Um, but other things like cheese
I
is
know, man.
cheese. Like if I can find an amazing cheese that's the equivalent of
And
house cheese,
yeah,
like the milk. I mean, the cheese.
yeah.
Like it would be life would be perfect, but
I've tried a few like Daya, a couple of other ones, and Daya's probably been like out of it's been like number two, number three out of all the cheeses that I've tried.
mhm.
And it was one that is at Whole Foods, but I can't remember the name of it. It's supposed to be like really good, and I'm like, man, I don't know. Trying these cheeses,
And
had
I
like
can't
a
even
thousand
really
in your
say
refrigerator.
that like it helps, to be
Yeah,
honest. Like that just it's just like the road that I'm on. So to me, it just made sense to incorporate both into
yeah,
my name. But because when I first started transitioning to being like a vegan,
Mhm.
I want to say it was only like months apart from me trading
Oh
and
wow.
then doing, like trying to transition. So I can't say, oh, like I was a carnivore completely for a year while trading, and then now my mind is clear. So I mean, I can't say. So I don't know.
You could. They'd be like, "Oh man, that's dope. Now I'm finna be a vegan trader too." Then you'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, detox clear your mind.
So I heard. So you said something that I don't know. A lot of people are like maybe they might not have been paying attention. Your husband, how when you started this path of trading, what
Hmm.
was his first thoughts about it, and then how do you guys like? How do y'all keep this balance? Because you got family life, you got things that you want to do for yourself, and then you got this trading. How do you keep that balance?
Oh, he was all for it. He was like, do it, because but he was working at the time and I wasn't working.
Okay.
And like I said, like I was with that other company first, and even when I told him about that company, like he was just like, okay, okay, do it. And when I told him about trading, like he saw like a few webinars with me, and he saw like the same thing, like people were making money and people were being successful. So
Yeah.
it was still a thing, like, okay, just do it. So when I started trading, he actually had just started a new job like after the other one that he was working, but he gave me his first check so that I could start trading.
Wow.
So yeah, and ever since then, it's like he's very supportive of it, and he understands like the route that I'm trying to take for it,
Yeah.
and like we're both dreamers. Like we go after our dreams. He's a songwriter, and
Nice.
like he has his own path as well.
I love it. I love it. You see that, ladies and gentlemen, you can have it both ways.
Hmm.
You can have a partner who is supportive of you and trade, do anything really.
Right.
It's just about that communication. It sounds like that y'all had going already. Um, what's been like? What's been like the biggest? I, don't know, I guess you can't really talk about paydays. What's the most amount of pimps you ever caught, and like was it a trade that you looked at yourself, or was it something one of the tools provided you? How did it, how kind of explain how you got to that point?
The first one was when I first got started. Like it wasn't even 24 hours yet, but it was a swipe trade.
Oh,
And
nice.
oh man, I can't even think of his name. Um, but it's Gustavo.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Wealthy
yeah.
Pit.
Wealthy
Wealthy Pit.
Pips, yeah.
So he called out a trade, and I put the information in, from Swipe Trades to MetaTrader. And this was before I finished my training and everything. So I hadn't even got past the vocabulary of trading. So I put it in, and I like kind of skimmed through to see like, well, how do you even place a trade to begin with? So I placed it. I didn't have a take profit. I didn't have a stop loss. And look, in swap trades, they give you all of that information,
Yeah.
but it was market execution. So I saw that and I was like, okay, market execution. So I pushed it, and that was it. I didn't think to go back to, and I didn't think to go and put a take profit or a stop loss in. So it's moving. And I'm
Right.
like, yeah, like, like I'm in. And I was texting my husband, like telling him, oh, like we up $300. This is demo.
Yeah.
We up $300. And he's excited and I'm excited. And I remember I was with my brother and we went to IHOP and got to IHOP, and I looked back at the trade and it was like, oh, we up $1,000. I texted my husband, we up $1,000, and he was excited.
Yeah.
After that, I forgot. I completely forgot about the trade. Made it home, started cooking. I looked at it, and now it's up 24, like no lie, $24,000.
Shut
And I
up.
looked at it, and I told my husband, I was like, "Yo, this is real. Like this is money. It's real." And he was like, "Well, how do you stop it?" I said, "I don't know. I'm gonna just let it keep going, until it stops." I looked back at it that night, and it was like negative $38,000. Abort, abort. So I emailed my sponsor, was like, "How do I stop?" And she was like, "Your stop loss." Well, what is a stop loss? And it was the biggest lesson learned. And then so that was that. And when it comes to like binary was completely different because you don't
Yeah.
have, take profit and stop loss. Um, but I would say like the now, because I give myself challenges and everything throughout the weekend, and I would say now like 1,200.
Nice.
So, um, but yeah, it's important to go through the training and study before
Yes.
before you do anything, or at least ask questions before it's too late.
Yes, it is. Oh man, at least you was in demo though. I was in my real account doing that. I
No,
had
like I
put
take stop losses serious now.
man, I did exactly what you did. I was like, oh, this is easy. I'm gonna just take
Hmm.
this home on the scanner trade. Okay. All right. I ain't putting no stop loss, no take profit. I just was like, oh, that's what it say. Agreement go.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Took that trade. I thought I was doing something. I was up like $600. Fell asleep, woke up. That thing said zero. I was like, why does it say zero across all
Because it's no more.
that? Right. Oh man, yeah. So very, very important to go through the training. Go through the training.
Please go through it.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So last question. Last question. You are you are your experience with building a team, and you're telling people about this. Why should they even get into trading? What, you're a mom. I don't know if you are full, like if you're full-time stay-at-home mom,
Hmm.
or why should anyone be looking at this as an opportunity to do whatever?
Because it really is, if you take it serious, it really does make a difference. Like it just makes sense because like I said, the first time around I was a stay-at-home mom, I was a stay-at-home wife, and I wanted to just be able to help my husband be able to bring an income in. And at the time, like we lived with my brother, so our focus was to get out and get our own place.
Yeah.
And that was the one of the ways that I felt like I could be able to help and be able to do that. After the fact, when I did end up stopping, like after my whole organization was wiped and I had to start over, I
Yeah.
ended up going back to work. And even the whole time while I was at work, it just some didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
Someone me having to ask permission for everything, and people telling me, because I worked at a school, I was a teacher. People pretty much changing my schedule whenever they wanted to. Just everything. And then even after I had my daughter back in May, like after the 6 weeks, I emailed them and told them, hey, like I wanna come back. They pretty much told me, like literally said, well, we filled your position. And
Wow.
it's just like, well, how do you, okay. I mean, what can you say? What can you say? And people were like, well, there are laws against that. Probably is, but it's not worth it
Yeah.
because this is a skill set that I'm learning. So let me just take this serious, buckle down and learn it. And I feel like it's something that people need to know about because, like I said, like it's life changing. It's just
Yeah.
like learning to ride a bike. Like once you learn it, you're not gonna forget it. You learn how to ride a car. I mean, drive a car. You're not gonna forget it. So if someone says after a maternity leave you can't have your job back, they can't say, "Oh, we're gonna take the skill set from you."
Right.
And I know how to trade. So regardless of where I am, I can be in a bathroom stall, I can be on a plane somewhere, I can be in jury having jury duty. Like if as long as I have Wi-Fi, I can place a trade, I can look at some charts
Yeah.
if I'm experienced in that level. And I can like, make some money, and a lot of people don't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And it really is something that I mean you can teach your children this skill set. And
Yes.
it really doesn't matter as long as you can understand what patterns look like, as long as you can identify types of candles, flat tops, flat bottoms, and as long as you can read different types of colors, as far as like, do you remember the money line that Jaleesa talked about?
Yes.
Like if you can tell when a line is touching the green line from the top or from the bottom, you can place a trade. Like if you see a trend going down or a trend
Yes.
going up, you can place a trade. So a lot of people try and make it more difficult than what it is.
Yeah.
But if you can follow the basics, then you'll be successful with it. And if you take it serious, don't try and become a millionaire overnight.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much, Ashley, for taking this time to just speak with us and just give us your story and background, and just sharing how important learning that skill is. Even if you decide to build a business, the
Mm-hmm.
skill is what's going to keep you, and you can teach it to your family, like you said.
Right.
This is so important, so important. Um, and then so everybody can catch you on your channel, YouTube channel, or
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram. Are you under your name or under the Vegan Trader?
Well, I'm not on Instagram. I don't
Oh,
have
okay.
one, but I am on Facebook,
Facebook. There we go. Okay.
and I'm under Ashley Flakes on both of them.
Okay, awesome. So thank
Mm-hmm.
you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, you guys be able to catch Ashley on her YouTube channel, Ashley Flakes, or on Facebook.